If you want to know the absolute best party members in the latest DLC, you are in the right place. With more than 1,000 hours of experience, I maxed out and tested the most promising characters in Endless Ragnarok against the hardest bosses in the game. So ultimately, I can give you my initial 20 best characters that you should be building right now. You will also be learning the best auto farming builds that will save you hundreds of hours, so you can progress much faster and be overpowered in the quickest way possible. The major criteria affecting the character rankings are based on how well the character's AI behaves. This covers how well they react against endgame boss fight mechanics. AI behavior will be judged on how well it can handle a certain character playstyle, as this greatly affects the character's overall damage output. All test covers a character when set as a main character AI or used as an AI companion. For me to get accurate results when testing a character's potential, I will be using 3 staple characters that will never change. I call them my test bench or test party. Eustace, Fidiel, and Siegfried are going to be my staples from this point forward. This will eliminate any other factors that can affect the damage output of the character being tested, set on the 4th slot. If you are new to the series, instead of exploring the best of the best characters in a single video, I decided to make this a full-blown series. This means that more episodes will add more characters until everyone is covered. The character standings will of course be updated on each episode. In my initial test, here are the current character standings after dozens of hours of testing. And I highly suggest watching the previous episodes to understand why they have such standings in the meta, after watching this video of course. The only main question that we need to answer now is, can these characters retain their spot when up against the upcoming new 5 characters in line? I guess we will find out. Starting the list strong with Charlotta the Sword Spammer. Despite her size, Charlotta is yet another pure damager that relies on her relentless sword spamming strategies to ramp up her damage. To make her ruthless sword spamming techniques perform even better in combat, the Noblest Stance is the best master style for this playstyle. The Noblest Stance grants Charlotta a special buff known as the Noble Order whenever she manages to spam her continuous sword slashes or when she lands a damage skill. The Noble Order buff can go up to level 5 and adds damage bonuses to Charlotta. The Noble Order buff in general adds a confusing attack boost bonuses, damage caps, and damage dealt multipliers depending on how high the Noble Order buff Charlotta has. But to make it easy to understand, the higher the Noble Order buff Charlotta has, the stronger her spamming combos are, making it the bread and butter damage strategy of this master style. And I have tested the other master styles for Charlotta, but both of them pales in comparison to the Noble Stance master style. I was really excited to try the Charge master style for Charlotta since this style has the highest potential on paper. Especially the Charge master style grants the Diamond Scatter buff that can stack up to 10 times. And not to mention the buff is permanent. But ultimately it became a huge disappointment since Charlotta rarely blocks attacks and just loves to spam her sword slashes. A notable skill for Charlotta is the Shining Onslaught, which will allow her to gap close on enemies and inflict target with defense down. Again, I see buffs and debuffs in general are still game changers. And if you want a detailed explanation why, check the description or the comment section. Charlotta is equipped with Terminus weapon in this setup, along with max possible stats and masteries. Since this guide leans towards AI companion tests or auto sessions, the build will obviously gravitate towards this setup. I just want to be clear as well that you don't need any 80% to 100% damage caps from your summoning crystals. 0% to 50% damage caps are more than enough to get you going. Just use whatever you have and adjust the build accordingly. This setup in full auto can deal 187 million total damage in a 60-second practice session. This is indeed surprisingly low or below standards, but this is not entirely new, because a lot of the best characters in my lineup show poor results in the dummy test runs but perform differently in combat. Let's see if this Noble Warrior can redeem herself when up against all of the hardest farming spots and bosses in the game. And starting with the 4 Dragons of the Apocalypse in the Chaos++ difficulty. This is by far one of the best spots to burn your time on if you want to get mastery points and stout heart summoning crystal, lots of silver centrums and legendary right stones. Charlotta averages 625 million damage across multiple test runs. This gives a test party an average clear time of 4 minutes and 12 seconds for the 4 dragons of the Apocalypse quest. Chaos++ Lucilius test is one of the major endgame farming spots. You will be spending the majority of your time here since this spot is one of the best overall mastery point spots in the game. But farming Lucilius stones is the true attraction in here. Lucilius stones can give your whole party level 15 Berserker Echo and 50 to 100% skill damage cap-up that you will want to get your hands on. Charlotta can no doubt perform against Lucilius, averaging 306 million damage across multiple test runs, and with an average of 2 minutes and 35 seconds clear time with my staple test party. This clear time is decently fast, which is of course gives me the ability to gain a lot of mastery points, along with K9 White Blooms to exchange for Ambrosia for even more MSP. Another endgame boss fight that needs to be spammed over and over is our boy Beelzebub in Chaos++ difficulty. Like Lucilius, his summoning crystals can give your party level 15 Spartan Echo and a whopping 50% to 100% normal attack damage cap increase. Charlotta has proven her might against this behemoth despite Beelzebub's mobility in combat, outputting an average of a decent 340 million damage across multiple test runs, and scoring a clear time of 3 minutes and 15 seconds, which is again extensively tight for your farming cycle needs. The world is one of the most challenging bosses to auto-farm compared to the first ones I mentioned, but also melts without a hassle if you use my setup in here. You will want to farm this boss since it drops the Summoning Crystal Roland, which gives your party War Elemental and possibly another normal damage cap-up increase to 100%. And as expected, Charlotta decimated the world without thinking twice by outputting a decent 618 million average damage across multiple test runs. This allowed my test party to cycle through in a quick 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Another thing to keep in mind here is that when the world casts his bubble mechanic, you can stop your main character from dying during auto runs. You will be clearing each of the major bosses at lightning speed if you have 4 well-built characters like what I have here. So dying once or twice is not really a big deal, so don't be alarmed. It is clear as day that Charlotta is not really suited for main character auto but performs decently well when set as an AI companion. Of course, depending on which master style you will use her for. As mentioned previously, Charlotta could output a massive amount of damage if her AI can handle the charged master style efficiently. Despite the noble stance being the best master style that can output the most damage among the 3 master styles, the damage overall is simply low. All of her master styles gears towards a pure DPS setup, but I am also aware that she has the potential to be an SBA battery or a support. But even having a level 30 uplift rate when spamming the continuous sword slashes doesn't generate a crazy amount of SBA charges. Meaning, I am forced to rank her against the ever-growing pool of pure damage dealers. Not to mention, we already have a lot of good ones already. At this point, a pure DPS character needs to offer something unique to the table or output a ton of damage to break through the top 10 or 15 ranks. But sadly, Charlotta has nothing new to show for. If you simply want the best damage possible, Charlotta will never be able to join your party. But if you simply like the character and don't care about the meta, she can still provide a serviceable damage output. So feel free to include Charlotta in your party. And as much as I want her to shine in the current ranks, the competition is simply overwhelming. Charlotta will rightfully sit in the top 20 ranks for now, and could potentially have lower rankings in the near future. But what if you want a better character in general that can give your team a huge damage gains? The next character is for you. But you know what is even more powerful? It is the ability to save tons of money while still enjoying your favorite games. If you want to support your favorite developers by buying their latest games without breaking the bank, especially in the current state of our economy, Eniba has you covered. Eniba is a fast-growing digital marketplace with 40,000 digital products, including PC games, PlayStation and Xbox titles, Nintendo games, gift cards, in-game currencies, and software. With a 24/7 customer support and secure payment lines, Eniba is ready to make sure that your buying experience will be fast, protected, and easy. Save tons of cash when buying the latest AAA titles in the market, like the absolute game of the year Crimson Desert. Instead of paying a full price of $70 price tag, Eniba can give you an almost $9 discount to start enjoying this game. I feature Crimson Desert heavily on this channel, and that $9 cashback goes a long way, especially since this game offers more than 500 hours of playtime. Save tons of cash today by exploring Eniba's massive game selections, completing the purchase, receiving your code, and starting to play your favorite games. Not only that, Eniba is tied to another awesome play-to-earn platform, Snacksy. Snacksy will give players the chance to earn while playing intuitive and premium mobile games. Start saving and earn cash by checking both of these platforms by using my special links in the description. And thank you Eniba for sponsoring this video. Fairy the support phantom is taking the spotlight and will try to cut through the ranks with her newly found master styles. Since we do have a lot of amazing DPS already, I decided to optimize Fairy as a supporting AI companion. The Spirited Support Master style adds a level of special buff known as the Spirit Bond to Fairy whenever all pets are summoned. It also applies Spirit Bond whenever all pets lives together. Fairy Spirit Bond can go up to level 3. So that's 15% additional attack and 45% damage cap, which is a great bonus overall. But the huge plus is that all party members will have the chance to accumulate spirit bonds that can go up to level 3 as well. So if you do have a good RNG and can constantly apply spirit bonds to all party members, you will be seeing a burst of performance when it comes to damage across the board. A notable skill for Fairy is Purge Spirits, which not only summons her pets in the process, but also deals high stun damage. While Benediction on the other hand is suggested for overall attack and defense boost. This is pretty helpful when the enemy is in non-overdrive phases, helping your team in bursting down bosses. But when it comes to Fairy's build, you will clearly see a pattern in here, since they are optimized to be the best AI companions or auto farmers as they can be. Again, let me be clear on this one. You don't really need 50% damage cap summoning crystals to auto farm all of the major spots in the game. Just work with what you have and improve the summoning crystals as you go. Fairy is hitting an absolute low damage of 141 million damage in a 60-second dummy run, which is understandable because Fairy is a full support in this setup. But let me show you what this girl can do in actual combat. Fairy is scoring 421 million damage across multiple test runs against the 4 dragons of the Apocalypse, and gives my test party clear times with 4 minutes and 24 seconds on average, which is considered a fast clear time across the board. So clearly, the damage bonuses Fairy provides to the team are doing their magic. Beelzebub will receive violent whiplashers from Fairy, giving you an average of 284 million damage. With Fairy supporting the whole party, it allows me to have a 3 minute and 48 seconds average clear time across multiple test runs. Endocilius will be in pain because of the non-stop whippings from Fairy. Given that this is the best mastery points farming spot in the entire game, the 2 minutes and 29 seconds clear time is decently fast. Fairy helps the team with an average of 235 million damage across the board. Farming Roland summoning crystal will be a breeze with Fairy, so the world will suffer constant whip strikes till he drops the key summoning crystal. Our girl Fairy is helping the team with an average of 603 million damage in multiple test runs, and helps the party score an average clear time of 4 minutes and 8 seconds in full auto runs. The numbers clearly show that Fairy can be a great support, but I also understand that players would like to see her perform as a damager. If you will use Fairy as a pure damager, make sure to equip the Fantastic Pets Master style. But even if you equip her with all of the best weapons and the best offensive build, expect Fairy to output a mid damage range across the board. The overall damage isn't too terrible, but not really great either. As mentioned previously, the Spirited Support Master style has a huge potential if the player has a good RNG. And I'd rather use Fairy as a support since we already have a lot of great damage dealers in our rankings. But the biggest issue here is that you will only use Fairy if you really like this character, because if you simply want better support damager, Lancelot is a better option across the board. Judging the test that I am showing you right now, Fairy can output more damage than Lancelot, but if you look closely at overall clear times when comparing the two, the team with Lancelot is significantly faster. Fairy is also hands down the best SBA charger currently because of her unusual whip spam SBA generation strategy. But even the AI can fully utilize this strategy, so I see Fairy's effectiveness as being fully utilized in active play. But since this is an AI companion guide, Fairy will rightfully sit in the top 18 spot in our ranks. But we are just getting started, and if you like another pure DPS character that can output a consistent amount of damage, you don't want to miss out the next one. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. Join our Discord server and team up with other players and help us build our community. Coming in hot with his speedy sword slashes and insane combat maneuvers is Yodarha the Lightning Strike. Yodarha is one of the top tier AI companions before the DLC hits, so the main question here is how he fares in Endless Ragnarok. I guess we will see. Just like in the base game, Yodarha performs optimally by having fewer skills and relies on his insane normal attack combos and combo finishers. The Flashing Void skill is Yodarha's bread and butter when it comes to damage. One of Yodarha's master style, which I will get into in a second, will give Yodarha the chance to use the Flashing Void skill frequently. The second and last skill in Yodarha's setup is the Perpetual Rotation. This will give Yodarha the triple shroud marks when the battle starts. Having full stacks of triple shard marks improves the damage of the Flashing Void skill, or even completely reset the set skill if you use Perpetual Rotation. Yodarha's basic kit is already looking good, but when you pair it with the Speedrunner Master Style, things will be more interesting. This Master Style basically allows Yodarha to generate the Flash Cut buff, which shortens the cooldowns of skills by 3% and gives additional 20% damage to his normal attacks, empowering his already strong normal attacks and combo finisher as well. The Flash Cut buff does not expire unless Yodarha gets hit, and also gives Yodarha the chance to reset his Flashing Void skill whenever he lands a combo finisher. I just mentioned that the Flashing Void skill is the only damaging skill equipped with this setup, so you will be seeing Yodarha cast this skill frequently, resulting in big damage numbers. But the main caveat is, when Yodarha has been hit, the Flash Cut buff will be removed and inflict the skill seal status effect for 8 seconds, stopping him from casting skills, which is not entirely a huge downside since he thrives on popping out normal attacks and combo finishers anyway. If you really want to see Yodarha doing big damage numbers, of course she needs all of the best toys in the DLC. Having a max transcended terminus is a requirement now, that is if you are aiming to build a full-blown DPS character. A level 15 Cascade and a high-level quick down cooldown trait help this build by a mile. So Yodarha will have a quicker access to his Flashing Void skill if the cooldown reset fails to take in effect. Yodarha can put on a show with his 328 million damage on a 60-second full auto dummy test run, showing the burst damage from his Flashing Void skill, normal attack combination, and combo finishers can output insane numbers. You can see that Yodarha can deal an average of a massive 791 million damage across multiple test runs. This gives the party an average clear time of 4 minutes and 24 seconds in the 4 Dragons of the Apocalypse mission. This buff will be cut into pieces if you have Yodarha in your party. This allows me to cycle with an average speed of 3 minutes and 32 seconds, which is extremely fast. Yoda himself is dealing an average of 442 million damage across the board. Lucilius will suffer a lot of sword cuts. Our guy Yodarha allows the test party to cycle with a clear time of 2 minutes and 16 seconds and contributes 385 million damage to bring misery to Lucilius. The entire party is crushing the world with a lightning fast 4 minute and 9 seconds average clear time, and Yodarha will not go home without a fight, averaging 766 million damage across multiple test runs. At the end of the day, Yoda is without a doubt a strong damager, but the changes to Endless Ragnarok made the competition extremely tight because of master styles. The test clearly shows that Yodarha can output serious and consistent damage across the board, but unfortunately, the damage is simply not enough to penetrate the top 10 ranks. His Death Deflection Master Style has the potential to give Yodarha the insane damage that he needs to break through the top 10 ranks, but his AI can't 100% maintain multiple stacks of payback when using the Death Deflection Master Style. Across multiple test runs, the AI can't really maintain the payback damage stacks past 2 to 3 stacks. This is absolutely horrible, giving him very low damage output across the board, so the Speedrunner Master Style is definitely the best Master Style for him. If you compare Yodarha to Narmaya, you can see that both of these characters can almost output the same damage numbers and clear times across all tests. But Narmaya has a tendency to rival the damagers on the top ranks if her AI decides to perform, meaning she is capable of dealing more damage compared to what is shown in here, while Yodarha's performance is already at the ceiling. And with that said and done, Yodarha will rightfully sit in the top 15 spot of my current roster, overtaking Seophon and placed 1 rank lower than Narmaya. But the next character surprisingly cut into the top ranks with the amazing support the said character can offer, so you don't want to miss this one. Things will go spicier from here as we are about to cover cutting-edge characters that can break through the current rankings. And Catalina the Blade Blue surprised me in a lot of ways, as she can offer great things to the table with her newly found master styles. Using Catalina as a full-blown support is the best option in here, since we already have a lot of great damagers on the table, and the Blade Blue Master Style allows Catalina to provide amazing buffs to her companions. The Blade Blue Master Style focuses on Catalina's skills such as Heal and the Light Wall. When Catalina casts both of these skills, all party members will receive the Blade Blue special buff. Each Blade Blue stacks grants an additional 11% attack boost and a 30% damage cap. And the maximum Blade Blue stacks can go up to level 3, so that's an attack boost of 33% and a great amount of 80% damage cap applied to all of your party members. If Blade Blue Master Style is active, using Light Wall will not only grant invincibility to the whole party, but also grant the entire party the Master Style buff Blade Blue as mentioned. Heal, on the other hand, not only provides Blade Blue special buff, but also grants shields to all party members instead of healing, thanks to Catalina's new master traits. Although the shield she can provide to all party members is not as strong as Cagliostro's, you will see the shield strength accumulate to 99,999 over time, since the AI can dodge attacks effectively. But here's the real banger in here. Using Emerald Shield will also grant a whopping 30% supplementary damage to the whole party, and this bonus is on top of your character's multiple supplementary damage sources. If you don't find this appealing, the recording on the screen right now shows the entire party having max stacks of Blade Blue, and the added supplementary damage from the Emerald Shield is active. And you can see here that the world's HP started around 73% when the SBA chain burst started, down to 47% when the animation finished, demonstrating the potential burst of damage from Catalina's buff. Not to mention what this burst potential can do in link time bursts. Just imagine that for a second. I already mentioned 3 of Catalina's skills, and the Azure Sword is highly suggested to be set on the 4th slot, so she can start buffing her mates at the start of battle. As expected, Catalina is following the same endgame AI companion setup where offense is the main focus, despite her being a full support in this setup. I love to squeeze in as much as damage as I can to score the fastest clear times possible, so she is equipped with the latest toys and offensive sigils to give as much damage as she can while providing support to her team. Catalina can output 136 million damage in full auto during my dummy test runs. The low damage is expected since she is built as a support in this setup. The 4 dragons will suffer hard-hitting attacks from your members if you have Catalina in your party. Expect Catalina to score an average damage of 335 million and gives the test party an average clear time of 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Beelzebub, on the other hand, will be pummeled with heavy attacks. The party with Catalina can burst down Beelzebub with a clear time of 3 minutes and 41 seconds. And Catalina herself scores an average damage of 191 million in multiple test runs. Lucilius will grow 10 years older in every encounter with your team, as you can expect a fast clear time of 2 minutes and 28 seconds. And Catalina can score an average of 175 million damage across multiple test runs. If you want to burst down the world, then Catalina can help you get the job done. Catalina scores with an average of 342 million damage across multiple test runs. With Catalina support, the test party is getting an average clear time of 4 minutes and 11 seconds, making you cycle even faster. If you are looking for a significant boost to your party's performance, and if you like Catalina, the best course of action is setting her as a support. She can buff your party with Blade Blue consistently, so you will be seeing multiple stacks of this special buff most of the time, meaning your team will have constant increase of damage cap bonuses. The 30% additional supplementary damage from the Emerald Shield is simply too good to ignore, especially during SBA Chain Burst and Link Time Burst. As mentioned previously, the shield strength from Catalina's heal is not as strong as Cagliostro's. But since Catalina can cast heal frequently, the shield strength accumulates to 99,999. If we compare Catalina to Cagliostro, we can clearly see that Catalina performs better across the board, not to mention the gap that Catalina has in terms of damage, and the overall clear times speak for themselves. Regardless, you will never go wrong by picking Catalina or Cagliostro as your main support, since at the end of the day, it all boils down to whether you want a sudden burst of shield strength or slow accumulation. Most regular players would prefer a huge stack of shield strength at the start of battle, so Cagliostro is hands down the best pick in here. But if you are an advanced player, I suggest you go with Catalina, as she provides better damage potential across the board. And because of that, Catalina will rightfully sit in the top 11 spot in our current rankings. But if you want a more straightforward character that can output a lot of damage and faster clear times, you don't want to miss the next character. The fifth contender that surprised me in a lot of ways is Galanza the Spinning Destroyer. And I am telling you, that body is not just for show, as his overall damage cuts a lot of characters in the ranks. I have tested every master style for this guy, and the Turbo Turbine gives the best results across the board. Not to mention that Galanza's AI loves to spam the spinning turbines anyway, so the Turbo Turbine master style is perfect for him, making his spinning playstyle even stronger and rewarding. And let him access his deathmatch finale form, which is when Galanza deals the most damage possible. The Turbo Turbine playstyle grants Galanza the ultimatum buff whenever he lands a perfect turbine finisher. This is near 100% of the time since the AI doesn't miss. The ultimatum buff can go up to level 3 stacks, and each stack grants attack 20%, defense 2%, and 15% damage dealt, which can make a huge impact. Failing to perform a perfect finisher will cause Galanza to collapse, which is instant death in greater difficulties. But this is not a major negative since the AI never misses in performing the perfect turbine finishers as mentioned, just like the AI behavior in Siegfried's perfect striker playstyle. So Galanza's AI can maintain the damage boost from the ultimatum without any problems. On the other hand, the Put on a Show master style has a huge potential on paper and supposed to be the best when it comes to damage output. This master style focuses on skill spamming and reducing Galanza's skill cooldowns across the board. And ultimately, it will allow Galanza to cast the master style's unique skill, the Flashpoint. This skill is so flashy and can deal tons of damage, and it is clear to see. But since we are at the mercy of AI control, it is ultimately a waste of potential. His AI never uses skills and focuses on spamming turbines only, even after Galanza has been set under the Put on a Show master style. This makes the Put on a Show master style only viable in active play. The skill Deathmatch Finale is highly suggested just in case he needs to access his deadly form anytime he needs to, while the Martial Spear does a tons of damage, especially at point blank range. This skill allows Galanza to charge his Silver Wolf gauge in the process. The best items in the game will of course help Galanza to score a great amount of damage. He is equipped with all of the bells and whistles in the current meta. Of course, we need all of the damage he can get, so when he spins in combat, he will be dealing consistently high damage across the board. If you are worried about him getting trashed when he's spinning, the innate drain from his weapon can save the day. Galanza can score 270 million damage in my dummy test runs, and this damage can almost reach the damage records of our current top tier characters. Moving on to the actual test, and our boy Galanza can output a whopping 837 million damage in the 4 Dragons of the Apocalypse mission, scoring an average clear time of a lightning fast 4 minutes and 2 seconds with my staple test party. Beelzebub will be crushed if you have a fully optimized Galanza in the party. This guy is averaging an insane 521 million damage in a stable 3 minutes and 26 seconds clear time on average. Lucilius will never want to see your party if you do have Galanza. Our boy Lucilius is getting destroyed with 428 million average damage from Galanza. This allows the entire party to have a lightning fast clear times of 2 minutes on average, which is extremely fast for a full auto setup. The world will simply be another punching bag, since Galanza is averaging a whopping 922 million damage across multiple test runs. And expect an insane 4 minutes and 6 seconds average clear time with my staple test party. As mentioned previously, this guy surprised me big time, as Galanza is another top tier damager that can give you consistent damage across the board. Despite the turbine playstyle requiring a lot of spinning around, Galanza can maintain his high damage potential against the hardest bosses in the game. If you like Galanza as a character, he can do his part without problems when playing another DPS role in your party. I just hope that Galanza's AI can handle the put on a show master style as intended, because I see this guy breaking through the top 5 ranks because of the huge damage potential from the master style. But for now, he will rightfully sit in the top 8 spot of this list, just 1 rank below Magliel. Despite of Magliel's size, she can output better damage overall when compared to Galanza. And Magliel being a ranged character and having an optimized AI behavior, I see her as a better choice overall. With all the data that I have so far, there is no question that the top guns retain their spot in the top 20 rankings. There's no doubt that Frau and Eustace are dead centered as the absolute best characters in this round because of their exceptionally consistent and very high damage across the board. If you are paying attention to all of the damage tests so far, you can see that Eustace almost tops the majority of the charts. Eustace and Frau races to be in the top 1 spot as always, but we all know why Eustace cannot be replaced in the top 1 spot. He is simply irreplaceable when choosing as the main character when doing full auto runs, if you want the best results that is. Percival on the other hand is technically the strongest character in the game currently, but he is actually bugged and will surely receive a fix very soon. But for now, he will rightfully sit in the top 2 spot, overtaking Frau. As mentioned previously, this is going to be an ongoing series, so more characters will be added to the test. So the rankings will be updated as well. So the main question that we need to answer here is, can these characters hold these spots in the upcoming test against other champions? I guess we will soon find out. And if you want to know how to build Eustace and Frau and get your party set up to go nuclear, this video will teach you everything you need to know. And with that, I am the Samurai. Thank you for watching and I will catch you on the next one.